Food trucks can make $200,000 to $500,000 per year in revenue. The profit margins aren't restaurant margins. They're better because your overhead is a fraction. No 10-year lease, no build-out, no corporate landlord, just you, your truck, and the food. But the food truck business has a brutal failure rate for people who jump in without understanding the real costs, the permit maze, and what separates the trucks that have a line around the block from the ones that go out of business in year one. Today, I'm giving you the complete, honest picture of how to start a food truck. Off-Clock Hustle logo animation with energetic sound. Welcome back to Off-Clock Hustle. The food truck industry has matured significantly in the last decade. The novelty factor is gone. Now you have to compete on food quality, concept, location, and marketing. That makes it harder and also, in some ways, better, because the operators who do the work and build real quality stand out more clearly. If you've ever dreamed of running a food business without the capital requirement of a brick-and-mortar restaurant, the food truck path is worth understanding completely. Here it is. The number one mistake prospective food truck owners make is underestimating startup costs. Let's get the real numbers out. The truck, a used, ready-to-go food truck with equipment already installed, runs $30,000 to $80,000. A new custom build is $80,000 to $150,000 plus. A step van converted into a food truck yourself, $20,000 to $40,000 if you have the skills. This is your single biggest capital requirement. Equipment. If the truck isn't equipped, commercial kitchen equipment, fryers, grills, refrigeration, generators, adds $15,000 to $30,000. Permits and licenses. This varies dramatically by city and state, but expect $1,000 to $5,000 in the first year, covering health permits, business licenses, food handler certifications, vehicle registration, commercial auto insurance, and commissary fees. Commissary. Most cities require food trucks to operate out of a licensed commercial commissary kitchen for food prep and truck cleaning. Commissary rental, $300 to $700 a month. Point of sale system, Square, Clover, or similar, $500 to $1,000 setup, plus 2 to 3% transaction fees. Initial inventory and supplies, $1,500 to $3,000 for opening stock. Branding and marketing, $500 to $2,000 for signage, social media setup, and initial promotion. Realistic total startup cost, $50,000 to $120,000 for a fully operational food truck. This is a real business investment, not a low barrier to entry side hustle. If your budget is under $30,000, you need to work the numbers harder or find a partner. Your concept determines your traffic, your margins, and your competitive position. Concept first, everything else second. Successful food truck concepts share several traits. They're focused, not a 40-item menu. They're visually compelling for social media. They have good margins, and they serve a niche that isn't already saturated in their market. Research your local food truck scene before committing. What's already there? What's missing? What are people searching for in your city on Google and social media? Concepts that have proven track records in many markets. Gourmet tacos and burritos, specialty sandwiches and burgers, global street food, Korean barbecue, Filipino food, Middle Eastern, dessert trucks, ice cream, crepes, waffles, specialty coffee. The food has to be genuinely excellent. Mediocre food gets one visit. Excellent food gets loyal customers who tell their friends and share on social media. In a mobile business where your location changes, word of mouth and social media are your primary marketing channels. Calculate your food cost percentage. Most successful food trucks run 25 to 35% food cost. If your most popular item has 45% food cost, you need to adjust the recipe, the price, or the item. The regulatory complexity of food trucks is the most common shock for new operators. Every city, and sometimes every neighborhood, has different ELIs, health department permit, required everywhere, involves a commercial kitchen inspection of your truck. In most cities, this means commissary access plus your truck setup meets NSF standards for commercial equipment. Business license, required by the city you're operating in, may need separate licenses in each city if you operate across municipal boundaries. Mobile vending permit. Many cities require a specific permit to sell food from a mobile unit on public streets or in parks. Special event permits. Farmers markets, festivals, and private events may require additional permits or temporary food service permits from the county health department. Fire department inspection, required in many cities for trucks with fryers and open flames. Hood suppression system certification. Commissary agreement. Your commissary provides a letter confirming your access to their licensed kitchen facility, required for health department permit renewal. Research the specific requirements in your city before you buy a truck. Call the health department directly, call the city business license office, and connect with existing food truck operators in your market who can tell you what they went through. Location is everything in food trucks. A great location with mediocre food beats great food in a bad location. The best types of locations: business districts during lunch, office parks, downtown areas, business campuses, consistent lunch crowd with money to spend. The best spots have repeat customers who become regulars. Breweries and bars, a permanent or semi-permanent spot at a popular brewery or bar is one of the best partnerships a food truck can have. They provide the space and the traffic. You provide the food. Arrangements vary. Some breweries take a percentage, some charge a flat fee. Farmers markets, consistent weekly venue with built-in foot traffic. Competition from other food vendors, but a customer base that actively seeks out quality local food. Private events, weddings, corporate events, private parties. These pay premium rates, often $500 to $1,500 for a 2 to 3 hour event, and a guaranteed revenue regardless of weather. Build a balanced schedule. 2 to 3 regular lunch spots during the week for consistent income, plus weekends at high-traffic locations or events for volume. Instagram and TikTok are your primary marketing channels. The food truck business is inherently visual. Beautiful food on a cool truck, satisfied customer faces, behind-the-scenes food prep. This content performs well on social media. Post your daily location every morning. Your followers should know exactly where to find you today. Consistency in location communication builds a routine for your regulars. Build an email list or text subscription list for loyal customers. Sign up for our location alerts. This direct channel is yours regardless of algorithm changes. Ask every customer who seems genuinely happy to post a photo and tag you. User-generated content is more authentic and more trusted than your own brand posts. Google My Business for food trucks. Set up a profile, keep your hours and locations updated, get reviews from customers. Many people search food truck near me on Google. A well-operated food truck in a good market generates lunch service, $800 to $2,500 per service depending on location and menu price point. Weekend events, $1,000 and $1,500 $4,000 per event at a busy festival, market, or private event. Monthly gross revenue, $15,000 to $40,000 for a consistently operating truck. Monthly expenses, commissary, $500, truck payment and insurance, $1,500 to $2,500, food costs, 28 to 35% of revenue, labor if you have an employee, $2,000 $4,000, fuel and maintenance, $500 to $1,000, permits, $200. Owner profit, after expenses, established operators in good markets typically clear $3,000 to $8,000 first month. Some significantly more in premium markets or high event seasons. Most new food truck operators make financial mistakes in their first year that create problems in year 2. Here's the financial framework that sets up long-term success. Pay yourself a set salary from the business. The most common mistake food truck owners make: treating the truck's revenue like personal income and spending it inconsistently. Pay yourself a fixed weekly amount that covers your personal expenses. Leave the rest in the business account. Build a maintenance reserve. Equipment breaks, the generator fails, the refrigerator fails, the truck needs a repair. Budget 5 to 8% of monthly revenue into a maintenance reserve account so these inevitable expenses don't create cash crises. Track your food cost percentage weekly. Food costs should run 28 to 35% of revenue. If it's creeping above that, due to waste, theft, overportioning, or ingredient price increases, catch it early. Weekly tracking means weekly visibility into your margins. Reinvest in marketing during growth phase. Year 1 is about building your audience. Spending $200 to $400 a month on Instagram ads targeting people within 5 miles of your regular locations is a legitimate business investment that accelerates your follower growth and customer base faster than organic alone. File quarterly estimated taxes. Your food truck income is self-employment income. Quarterly estimated tax payments, due January, April, June, September, prevent a massive April tax bill. Use 25 to 30% of net income as a rough estimate for tax obligations. An accountant who works with small food businesses is worth every dollar in year one. Here's the long-term picture that makes the hard early work worth it. A food truck with $30,000 a month in gross revenue at 20% net margin generates $6,000 a month in owner income. That's $72,000 per year from one truck. Not a bad solo business. A food truck owner who hits that level and reinvests profits into a second truck, then scales to 3 trucks, is building a genuinely substantial business. 3 trucks at $6,000 a month owner income each is $18,000 a month, $216,000 a year. At that scale, you're hiring and managing rather than cooking and driving, which is a fundamentally different and often more sustainable lifestyle. The path isn't linear or guaranteed, but it's a real path with real examples. The food truck operators who make it to multiple trucks did it by mastering the economics of one truck first, understanding their costs, their margins, their best locations, and their best menu items, before scaling. Scale what works. Don't scale what you're still figuring out. The food truck business is real, and it works for people who understand the startup investment, the regulatory requirements, and the consistent work required to find great locations and build a loyal following. It's not easy, but it's also not mysterious. Great food, plus strategic locations, consistent social media presence, plus excellent customer experience equals a food truck business that grows by word of mouth and becomes more valuable every year you operate it. Go in prepared, go in patient, and go in with excellent food. The market rewards all 3. Subscribe to Off Clock Hustle for weekly hustle breakdowns. Drop a comment. What food concept would you do if you started a food truck? I want to hear the ideas. See you in the next one.